The brand is Racing GT. This thing is pretty sweet. I cannot wait. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So if you haven't figured it out by now, my channel is primarily planes, trains, and automobiles, whether it's Hot Wheels, RC cars, real cars, or anything of the sort. A while back, I made a poll on my channel asking how many of you guys liked racing games. I think it was like 90% of you said you did. So for a while now, I've wanted to get into some racing simulator stuff on my channel. I've actually been playing racing games since I was a kid, all the way back to Rad Racer on the original Nintendo. The big jump was 1995 when I got my first copy of Gran Turismo on the original PlayStation, and then around 2005 with my first copy of Forza Motorsport on the original Xbox. That game has been a quintessential part of my life for nearly 20 years now, and they just released the newest version, Forza Motorsport, which is technically Forza 8. So right behind me we have the biggest leap that I've made, and it is a racing seat. So what do you need with a racing seat? Well, you need a racing wheel. So we're gonna go to the store right now and pick one out. Quickly before we go, I just want to point out, guys, because I know a lot of you are probably thinking this, I do have both versions of Assetto Corsa, and we will probably be playing that at some point, but I think that primarily it will be Forza because that's what all my friends play. And I want to show you which one was sent to me. So I was contacted by Racing GT, and they told me they were going to send me the Challenger 301. So it goes without saying, I'm really excited to make this video. We're gonna go buy a steering wheel now, and then we're gonna come home and assemble it. I'm probably just gonna start with a simple wheel for now, maybe down the road get something better. So right here we have the Logitech True Force. This looks like, what's the model on this? G923, racing wheel and pedals compatible, pretty much with everything we need here. So G923, $299. Okay, I think I'm just looking for the G920. All right, here we go, G920. Windows 10 and 11. So I think this is what we're probably gonna get, just because I want to keep it simple for now. Down the line we're probably gonna get something better, but just for the sake of this video we're gonna stick to the Logitech. Alright, so right on here it says Racing GT Racing Simulator Cockpit for G920, G29, or G923. So it looks like they've kind of designed this around those wheels, so I guess maybe it's not a bad thing that I got those. They did send me some documentation that showed it will fit other wheels too though. We're just going to stick with the Logitech for now. Down the road, if I really like doing this, obviously we're going to want to upgrade, but I think considering using a remote is how I've always played, this is going to be much better. The brand is Racing GT. This thing is pretty sweet. I cannot wait to set this thing up. I'm pretty sure it folds up too. The wife's going to want it to fold up, I can tell you that much. It looks like it actually comes pre-assembled. I mean, I think. Actually, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I really didn't look yet. But so far, so good. It's packaged really nicely. Big bubble wrap. Bunch of foam padding here. It's mostly set up. Everything pretty much was already pre-assembled. The only thing I had to do was attach these little sliders here, screw them in, attach this, screw it in, and that's pretty much it. I got all the hardware to mount the wheel, the pedals, and the shifter. So we're gonna open up the boxes and get that started. I'm just wondering about the angle of the seat here. I'm not sure how it's all gonna work out yet, but we're gonna sit and get everything arranged perfectly once the wheel is on. All right, I have the entire chair set up. I put the wheel and the pedals on. I got Forza loading on my TV here. Pretty straightforward assembly. The shifter, the wheel, and the pedals all bolted up correctly to the holes. There's 2 screws for this, 2 screws for that, and 2 screws for that. The seat is able to be adjusted right here by this. You just untwist this and then the seat will fold forward or backward. It also folds up using this mechanism here. The only complaint I think I have so far is the ride height is a little weird, but it can be adjusted, and this is kind of loose. But overall I think it's pretty good for the money. I think it's like 220 bucks. It's not bad for a basic setup, which is really all I need. So I'm going to attempt now to drive for my first time in Forza with this wheel. This is really cool. So you have your accelerator, it feels all right. Brake, much stiffer, and your clutch. They feel pretty good. I mean, this is just a very basic system, so I don't really expect too much. Also has these paddle shifters here. And as far as this goes, it's in the perfect position. So I'm excited to actually drive like a manual car. This is really cool. I'm really excited. I want to thank Racing GT for sending me this setup. This is going to elevate my gameplay to the next level. I've always really wanted a wheel, but obviously I never had any place to mount it, and now we have this awesome setup. So I'm going to go ahead and try this out. I'm in a multiplayer game with my buddy right now. This is way more difficult than I expected. Yeah, just take a view from my eyes. My number one problem I'm having with learning how to do this is when to hit the brakes. It's just so much different than on a controller.
It's true. Cheated.
Oh, yeah, so just totally different
too,
experience. Just like, there's just so much happening. You know, normally you just hit a button, but I'm having to feather the throttle, hit the brakes, move my arm, all that instead of just hitting one button. So far so good. This seat's pretty good. I mean, it's only like 220 bucks, so it's not like it's really expensive. I would say if you're looking for an intro, this isn't bad at all. I'm loving it so far.
Not bad. That's how much that was?
Yeah, it's not too expensive.
But making stuff for affordable for
Exactly.
people.
It's perfectly falling in the budget category. The seat's comfortable. I don't have any complaints about it. Like I said, my only complaint is this. I could be an idiot, and I may not have tightened something, but from what I can see, like, this thing just slides over here.
What is it?
It's just like the whole steering column shakes. It's hard to explain.
Hmm.
You hear that?
Yep.
So, when you pull on the wheel, it kind of moves forward. So, if it was clamped more on this side, there's links in the description if you are interested in this for all these items, including the wheel and the shifter. The pedals come with the wheel, so.
What would you rather do? Magello, Lime Rock, Maple
Lime
Valley?
Rock, hometown track.
I was just gonna say, a couple Connecticut boys.
Yes, sir.
A little late on that shift over there, I heard. Oh!
Oh, I look like such an amateur right now. I promise you guys, I am not this bad at this game.
No, he is.
Can't say I've ever played Forza with a GoPro on before.
Yeah, everything you're doing right now is
the
for the first time.
Yep.
Yeah. Also gotta be distracting. Trying to learn it, make content, and trying to beat me. Just beating me alone is like...
Oh, yeah?
You know?
Alright. Shift
Hard
into
enough.
overdrive.
Downshift. And it's Camry motor.
Oh, this is where I just like, oh, so different. Like on controller, my brain goes, oh, do this, tap tap.
You gotta be braking, bro. You gotta be on the brakes. Fully lock the brakes, like before the turn.
That's another thing. I'm used to using ABS off, where you just kind of apply pressure as needed. So it didn't work very well in my first race, so I switched over. And now I'm not hitting the brake hard enough. Oh. Oh, I went in the pit. That's a first.
My goodness.
Oh, having to turn the wheel that far, I'm not used to it. Second gear, floor it. Third gear. Oh, we got that one. Brakes, brakes, brakes. Second, punch it.
Yep.
Doing better. Possible that this GT racing seat here will turn me into a pro racing driver. YouTuber going race driver. Highly unlikely.
Oh.
Ah. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching that race. It proved to be a lot more difficult to drive using a cockpit setup than it ever could be with a joystick like I've been used to for the past 20 years. That being said, it's been a few weeks since that race, and I've had a good amount of time to get familiar with the Racing GT Beyonder 301. And my final thoughts on it are, I think it's absolutely perfect for an intro setup. If you're looking for something to get into this, much like myself, that is not going to break the bank, I think it's a perfect starting point. The seat is comfortable. It looks good, it feels good. Before the video ends, I just want to cover one minor detail that I had an issue with while I was making this video, and it was the issue I was having with this being very loose. I actually fixed it. All I did was take the little silver ball that usually clips and pops into this hole, and I actually pushed it down farther into here. So it's a little farther than it should be, but it actually is nice and sturdy now. So literally I have no complaints at all. I think this chair is perfect for your money, especially if you're just looking to get into it. I think this is really cool, and I'm extremely grateful for Racing GT to have sent me this to review for them. It has changed the way I look at racing forever. It's much harder on a wheel, guys, much harder on a wheel. So if you're up for the challenge, then I think this seat will suit you just fine. Like I said, links are in the description if you're interested in picking up one for yourself, as well as the company's website so you can check out all the products they offer. Hope you enjoyed watching the video, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Later!